On the evening of March 13, 1997, thousands of people across the state of Arizona, particularly in the Phoenix area, reported witnessing a series of strange, unexplained lights in the night sky. The lights appeared to hover and move in an unusual pattern, igniting an intense debate over what was actually seen. Was this a mass UFO sighting? Or was it a simple military exercise that was later covered up? In the years that have followed, the Phoenix Lights incident has remained one of the most famous and enduring UFO mysteries, with witnesses, researchers, and skeptics offering different explanations. The event has been the subject of documentaries, books, and countless discussions, but the question still lingers: what exactly happened that night? Was it an encounter with extraterrestrial life? Or was it a carefully orchestrated military cover-up designed to hide a top-secret experiment? This article will explore both sides of the story, examining the evidence, the witnesses, the official explanations, and the theories that have emerged in the wake of the Phoenix Lights. Chapter 1: The Event. What happened on March 13, 1997? On the night of March 13, 1997, thousands of residents in Phoenix and surrounding areas saw a series of strange lights in the sky. The lights, described by many as being in the shape of a triangular formation, hovered silently in the sky for over an hour. Some witnesses reported seeing a massive craft, obscured by the lights, while others described the lights as moving in a slow, deliberate pattern, while some saw them stationary. The lights, often referred to as the Phoenix Lights, sparked immediate public interest and led to a flurry of reports to local authorities. Reports came from a wide range of people: truck drivers, pilots, police officers, and even military personnel. All seemed to describe the same phenomenon: lights that defied conventional explanations. Some witnesses described the lights as forming a V-shape, with 5 or more orbs or lights attached to a dark, massive object. These descriptions were often consistent across the multiple reports filed by witnesses, all of whom saw the lights at approximately the same time, between 7:30 p.m. and 10:30 p.m. on March 13th. The government's response: the initial reaction from the U.S. government and local authorities was one of dismissal. Local news outlets reported that the lights were likely flares dropped by military aircraft, and many witnesses were told that the lights were simply a misunderstanding. The story quickly spread across local and national media, but the official explanation didn't satisfy many who had seen the phenomenon with their own eyes. Chapter 2: The military explanation. Flares or something else? The most widely accepted explanation from the government and military officials was that the lights were military flares dropped by a 10 Warthog aircraft in the area. According to the U.S. Air Force, these flares were part of a training exercise conducted over the nearby Barry Goldwater Range, a restricted military testing area in southwestern Arizona. The flare theory: the Air Force's explanation of flares seemed reasonable on the surface. Flares, when dropped from military aircraft, can appear as stationary lights that slowly drift downward. The lights seen by witnesses, they argued, were the result of these flares burning brightly and descending, creating the illusion of an unusual pattern in the sky. This theory, however, was met with skepticism for several reasons. The timeline and movement of the lights: while flares can appear stationary, they typically descend quickly. But the Phoenix Lights were observed for over an hour by numerous witnesses, moving in ways that didn't match the behavior of flares. Many witnesses reported seeing the lights form into a V-shape, or a triangular formation, and the lights moved slowly across the sky, contrary to the typical descent pattern of flares. Witnesses who disputed the military explanation: several credible witnesses, including former military personnel, law enforcement officers, and even pilots, came forward to dispute the flare explanation. One of the most compelling testimonies came from retired police officer and former Phoenix police spokesperson, Lieutenant Governor Fife Symington, who initially ridiculed the incident before later acknowledging that he, too, had seen something he couldn't explain. Chapter 3. The UFO Theory, a massive extraterrestrial craft. The second, more mysterious explanation for the Phoenix lights was that they were part of a UFO encounter, and that the lights were part of a massive extraterrestrial craft. Many witnesses have argued that what they saw could not have been flares, due to the precise movements of the lights and the sheer size of the object. Eyewitness accounts of a triangular craft. The most compelling UFO theory comes from witnesses who described seeing a massive triangular, or boomerang-shaped craft, with 5 bright lights at its corners. Some reported that the craft was so large that it blocked out stars as it slowly moved over the city, while others claimed that the lights moved in a coordinated pattern that could not be replicated by any known military aircraft, or the size and speed of the object. According to some eyewitnesses, the object was not only enormous, but also completely silent, which ruled out the possibility of it being a conventional aircraft. Some estimated that the craft was as large as a football field, and its slow, deliberate motion made it unlikely to be a meteor, flare, or balloon. The role of the U.S. Air Force. Many UFO enthusiasts argue that the military's insistence that the Phoenix lights were simply flares is part of a larger cover-up to conceal evidence of extraterrestrial visitors. According to these theorists, the government may have been attempting to downplay or deny the existence of UFOs to avoid panic or to keep classified information from becoming public. Chapter 4. The cover-up theory, military involvement and suppression of evidence. Some researchers and UFO enthusiasts argued that the government's denial and official explanation were part of a larger cover-up to hide the truth about UFOs. The cover-up theory suggests that the military was involved in either deliberately masking the event as a flare drop or attempting to suppress evidence of extraterrestrial contact. Delayed and conflicting statements. One of the key pieces of evidence for a cover-up lies in the conflicting statements made by government officials and the military. In the immediate aftermath of the event, the government issued statements downplaying the incident, but many witnesses reported that they were met with skepticism or ridicule when they attempted to report their sightings. This inconsistency led many to believe that the military was intentionally trying to obscure the truth. The role of media and government control. In the years following the Phoenix Lights event, numerous theories emerged suggesting that the media and government agencies may have been complicit in keeping the true nature of the incident hidden. The government's efforts to dismiss the incident as a mere misunderstanding and to label witnesses as mistaken were seen by some as evidence of a concerted effort to control the narrative. Suppressed footage and documents. Some conspiracy theorists argue that the government actively suppressed or destroyed footage and evidence related to the Phoenix Lights. In particular, certain video footage that was captured by witnesses has been said to have been confiscated by authorities, leading to speculation that the military may have tried to remove any evidence that did not fit the official narrative. Chapter 5. The Aftermath. Lasting impact of the Phoenix Lights. Phoenix Lights incident continues to captivate the public's imagination, and it remains one of the most talked about UFO events in history. Although the official explanation remains that the lights were simply military flares, the incident has left a lasting impact on those who witnessed it and on the broader UFO community. Witness testimonies and continued advocacy. Many of the people who witnessed the Phoenix Lights have continued to advocate for further investigation into the event. Their accounts, despite being dismissed by the military, have fueled a growing movement of individuals who believe that the truth about the Phoenix Lights has yet to be revealed. Phoenix Lights Day. In recognition of the event, March 13th has become known as Phoenix Lights Day, with annual gatherings and discussions about the incident. UFO enthusiasts, witnesses, and researchers come together to commemorate the mystery and to continue seeking answers. Conclusion: what really happened on March 13, 1997? The Phoenix Lights incident remains one of the most compelling and mysterious UFO encounters in modern history. While the official explanation remains that the lights were simply flares, the numerous conflicting accounts and eyewitness testimonies continue to fuel speculation that the truth may be far more extraordinary. Whether it was an extraterrestrial craft, a military experiment gone wrong, or a well-executed cover-up, the Phoenix Lights continue to capture the imaginations of millions. Until new evidence emerges, the mystery of the Phoenix Lights may never be fully solved, leaving us to wonder, was it a UFO encounter, or was it simply a military cover-up?